this book was a lot about forbidden love. There's the forbidden love, of course, between Costa and Delphine, a Greek and a Turk. There's the forbidden love between Yusuf and Yorgos, also the Greek and Turk, but also complicated by the gay relationship. And I don't know about y'all, but I find the idea of being told who and how I can love to be absolute oppression. Any of you? Is it just me?
Yeah.
Right, okay, yeah. So for me, that was something that really stood out from the book, and I spent a lot of time thinking about that. I also think that the persistent insistence of homogeneity of love, I also find that to be reductive and divisive. So it's the idea that you can only love someone from your own community or your own background. Obviously, that makes sense that you would fall in love with someone with a similar background, but to say that it must be so, I find that to be also a form of oppression and a form of perpetuating division. So that kind of informed a lot of how I approached the poetry. As a Greek American myself, I was remembering when I was a kid being told a lot, mostly by my yaya, my grandmother, and she would say, mostly to my sister and I, when you grow up, you're going to meet a nice Greek boy, fall in love and get married. But it was like this: you grow up, meet a nice Greek boy, fall in love and get married. Sometimes fall in love was not a part of it, actually. You just met him and then got married. And initially, when I was little, this was actually comforting. This idea of having this sort of destiny that was going to be just like, oh, knitted up and beautiful, right? But after a while, it became like, felt like a trap. And so I started thinking about like, oh, I'm not so sure about that plan for me. And the other thing that this book made me think about is how, in thinking like that, how as a kid, I felt like I was always questioning everything. Not like an asshole kid who's like, why? But like, honestly was always thinking about things differently and always felt like I had a different perspective on things. And this memory that came to me was when my dad had gathered us all together to like tell us something that was going to keep us safe. Maybe there was like a big storm coming, and so he brought everybody together and he was like laying down the law about how we were supposed to be safe. And at the end of it, he said, and I don't want any buts or what ifs. And before I could think, I said, but what if? Because immediately, as soon as someone told me not to think something, I immediately thought of the thing I wasn't supposed to think of. And so out of my mouth, but what if? And he looked not happy, and everybody else laughed. Not because they thought I was trying to be funny, but because like how preposterous that's where my mind went right then. So I was kind of processing all these different things. And so my first poem is called But What If? You grow up, meet a nice Greek boy, fall in love and get married. But what if none of the boys like me in high school? What if I was too skinny or weird or sweaty or what? And what if grown men liked me a little too much and they knew better but hoped I didn't? And what if it's just sex they want, not love? You grow up, meet a nice Greek boy, fall in love and get married. But what if I don't fall in love with a Greek boy? What if I don't want to get married? Or what if marriage isn't even an option? You grow up, meet a nice Greek boy, fall in love and get married. But what if the man I love doesn't love me back? I'm not the right, what was it? What if I'm too much? Or worse yet, not enough? What if he thinks I'm good enough to share his bed, but not to meet his family or share his table? You grow up, meet a nice Greek boy, fall in love and get married. What if when I grow up I want walnuts and pistachios, tzatziki and curry, chicken and waffles? And what if when I grow up I have the preposterous audacity to believe in one love, and love is love, and you? How's that?